In a world where personal safety has become a paramount concern, individuals increasingly arm themselves with tools of defense. The presence of pepper spray or similar deterrents in one's pocket or purse has become as routine as carrying keys or cash. Yet, as crimes persist, a more troubling trend emerges: the consideration of firearms by even the most unassuming individuals, such as college students, seeking a sense of security in an unpredictable environment. This narrative leads us into the heart-wrenching tale of Brianna Denison, a 19-year-old junior majoring in child psychology at Santa Barbara City College. Her disappearance from a friend's residence in Reno, Nevada, sent ripples of fear and disbelief through the community. It is the kind of nightmare that defies comprehension, a young life snatched from what should have been a haven. As the investigation progressed, disturbing revelations surfaced, casting a shadow of dread and despair. The tragic events surrounding Brianna's case unfolded with a chilling inevitability, painting a portrait of violence, heartache, and an unfathomable loss. A seemingly ordinary winter break morphed into a harrowing ordeal, leaving an indelible mark on all who knew her. Born on March 29, 1988, Brianna, affectionately known as Bree, was the cherished daughter of Jeff and Bridget Denison. Her early years were spent within the embrace of a close-knit family, alongside her younger brother Brighton in Reno, Nevada. Jeff Denison, a businessman, provided a comfortable life for his family until tragedy struck in 1994. At the age of 34, Jeff succumbed to despair amidst a federal embezzlement investigation, leaving behind a family fractured by grief. Bree, only 6 at the time, experienced a loss that reshaped the trajectory of her life. The family's foundation was irrevocably altered, yet they found solace in one another, forging a path of resilience and unity. Bridget, a single mother, dedicated herself to providing for Bree and Brighton, nurturing an environment of unwavering love and support. The Denisons eventually relocated to Mendocino, California, seeking solace in a familiar setting. Here, Bree blossomed, her vivacious spirit and warm disposition endearing her to many. Upon graduating from Reno High School in 2006, she embarked on an academic journey at Santa Barbara City College, driven by a passion for understanding the minds of children. Bree's zest for life extended beyond academia. Her adventures took her across the globe, from the ancient streets of Rome to the bustling cities of New York and Tokyo. Each journey enriched her perspective, feeding a curiosity and wanderlust that defined her essence. At 19, Brianna Denison embraced life with open arms, crafting memories and pursuing her dreams with unwavering determination. In the wake of her disappearance, the community was left grappling with unanswered questions and a profound sense of loss. The story of Brianna Denison serves as a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the shadows that lurk beneath its surface, urging us to cherish each moment and to seek understanding in the face of the unknown. In the tender tapestry of familial bonds, the connection between Bree and her younger brother Brighton was a cherished thread. As the elder sibling, Bree embodied the role of mentor and confidant, offering guidance and unwavering support. Brighton looked up to her not merely as a sister, but as a beacon of wisdom and stability amidst the tumultuous journey of growing up. Bree's spirit was one of warmth and exuberance. She was a young woman who thrived in the vibrant environment of college life, her future painted with the bright hues of promise and potential. Yet, the dawn of January 2008 would cast an unexpected shadow over her luminous path. Returning to Reno for winter break, Bree sought to rekindle the camaraderie of her high school years. The city, with its familiar streets and familiar faces, was the backdrop for a series of events orchestrated by Summer-Winter Action Tours, LLC, a company renowned for curating student gatherings. The anticipation of celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. weekend infused the air with excitement, but beneath the surface, fate wove a more somber narrative. On the eve of January 19th, the group of friends, buoyed by the evening's festivities, found themselves immersed in a swirl of music and laughter. Among the highlights was a lively gathering at the Sands Regency Resort, now bearing the moniker J Resort, nestled on North Arlington Avenue. Time, however, is an elusive companion, and midnight arrived with stealth. As the night waned, Bree, accompanied by her friend Jessica and their host Katie, retreated to Katie's off-campus apartment on McKay Court, a stone's throw from the University of Nevada. The apartment was a sanctuary of sorts, though its security was compromised by a front glass door that remained perpetually unlocked. The rationale was simple. In the event of misplaced keys, entry was assured. It was a decision steeped in youthful naivete, a belief in the invulnerability of their world. Once home, Katie and Bree exchanged their party attire for the comfort of night clothes, ready to surrender to the embrace of sleep. Bree, for reasons known only to her, opted for the living room, crafting a makeshift bed on the couch, adorned with a pillow, 2 blankets, and a beloved stuffed bear. Katie, meanwhile, sought solace in her own room. Yet, the tranquility of the night was deceptive. The unlocked door, a symbol of misplaced trust, was a silent invitation to the unexpected. The illusion of safety, unchallenged until now, crumbled with the weight of reality. What had always been a refuge was now vulnerable, a fact that would haunt Bree's friends and family in the years to come. In the quiet hours, Bree reached out to her boyfriend, Cameron, through the tenuous threads of a phone call. Their relationship, nurtured since the inception of their college journey, faced the strain of disagreement over her nocturnal social endeavors. Yet, the conflict dissolved into reconciliation, a testament to the resilience of their bond. As the conversation faded, Bree drifted into slumber, unaware of the darkness that loomed. This narrative, stitched with the threads of innocence and tragedy, serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the unforeseen turns it may take. It is a testament to the enduring impact of choices and the profound legacy of those who tread lightly upon this world, leaving indelible footprints on the hearts of those who remain. As dawn's first light broke on January 20th, a seemingly ordinary morning unfolded for Jessica and Katie. The clock ticked towards 9 a.m., and the two friends began their day with the usual routines. Yet a subtle disquiet lingered in the air, unnoticed at first. Bree, who had been sleeping on the couch, was no longer there. Jessica and Katie assumed she had moved to her bedroom during the night, a reasonable conclusion given the tranquility of the scene. Time, however, proved to be a silent harbinger of worry. Hours slipped by with no sign of Bree emerging from her room. Concern turned to anxiety, prompting the friends to investigate. Their hearts sank when they found Bree's bedroom empty, untouched, as if she had never set foot there. The absence was palpable, a void filled with foreboding. Returning to the living room, they stumbled upon a curious anomaly. One of the blankets lay discarded on the kitchen floor, far from where Bree had been resting. Her beloved stuffed bear, a constant companion, was conspicuously absent. Most alarming of all was the pillow she had used, marred by a sinister red stain. Panic gripped Jessica and Katie as they reached for their phones, dialing Bridget, Bry's mother, with trembling fingers. The apartment held eerie clues to Bree's sudden disappearance. Her wallet, phone, and bag remained untouched, silently suggesting she had left without them. Bridget, stricken with fear, immediately contacted the authorities, her voice a conduit of urgency. The police arrived swiftly, their presence a blend of reassurance and grim determination. The initial investigation revealed a perplexing scene. No signs of forced entry marred the apartment's threshold, and no belongings were conspicuously absent. Yet the unlocked front door hinted at a more disturbing possibility. Bree might have been taken in the dead of night, a shiver-inducing thought. The pillow, stained and unsettling, became a focal point of the inquiry. Closer inspection unveiled 3 red stains, intertwined with smudges of mascara, painting a picture of distress. Theories emerged. Perhaps Bree had cried during a phone argument with Cameron, her boyfriend, explaining the mascara. But the stains posed a more troubling mystery, their origin elusive and haunting. Detectives noted something even more disconcerting: tiny puncture marks on the pillow, reminiscent of bite marks. This revelation painted a harrowing picture. Bree, in her last moments there, may have been silenced, her cries stifled against her own pillow. The apartment was sealed, transformed into a scene of forensic scrutiny. The meticulous examination uncovered male DNA on both the couch and the doorknob, entwining with Bree's DNA on the blood-stained pillow. The gravity of the situation escalated, drawing the attention of the FBI, whose expertise was now crucial in the unfolding mystery. Bree's disappearance was a chilling enigma, compounded by a recent spate of violent assaults against women in the area. The specter of a repeat offender loomed large, casting a shadow over the investigation. Detectives embarked on their arduous task, piecing together the last known interactions of Bree. They questioned her family, friends, and those who had spoken with her in the waning hours of her presence. Cameron, the boyfriend embroiled in a recent argument with Bree, fell under scrutiny, as did the man who had provided Jessica a ride home. Each conversation, each detail, was a thread in a tapestry of uncertainty solved. In the heart of this mystery lay a profound truth, a reminder of the fragility of presumed safety and the relentless pursuit of justice in the face of darkness. As the investigation continued, the hope was not just for answers, but for the restoration of the light that had flickered out on that fateful morning. In the tapestry of human affairs, where every thread is woven with the potential for both beauty and tragedy, the disappearance of Bree sent ripples of unease through the community of Reno, Nevada. On a cold January day in 2008, Bree vanished without a trace, leaving behind a void that her family and investigators were desperate to fill. The case, however, was shrouded in mystery, its pieces scatty. 2 individuals initially suspected in the investigation were quickly ruled out, their alibis solid, and their DNA not a match. Yet the relentless pursuit of truth demanded that every possibility be explored. As the days slipped. On January 29th, 9 days into Bree's disappearance, a new lead emerged. A woman, her voice trembling with the weight of her tale, reported a robbery in the University of Nevada parking lot. Her friend had been the victim, targeted by an unseen assailant. Though she could not provide a description of his face, she remembered a blue pickup truck, perhaps a Toyota Tacoma from 2007 or 2008, fleeing the scene. The police, ever meticulous in their quest, took her report seriously, collecting a DNA sample in hopes of finding a connection. It was a breakthrough they had not anticipated. When the DNA evidence from Bree's case was compared with that from the parking lot incident, the results were astonishing. The same individual was responsible for both attacks. The revelation was a double-edged sword, bringing clarity to the investigation while deepening the sorrow of Bree's family. With this newfound knowledge, detectives called upon the community for assistance, hoping someone, somewhere, might hold the key to uncovering more about this elusive predator. Their plea was answered when another woman came forward, recounting a harrowing experience eerily similar to Bree's abduction. The pattern was unmistakable, each crime marked by the theft of a personal item, trophies of the attacker's twisted conquests. Among the stolen items, the most unsettling were women's undergarments, mementos of his vile actions. One victim, blessed and cursed with a glimpse of her attacker's visage, contributed to a composite sketch. This image, a crucial piece of the puzzle, was shared widely, a beacon in the darkness for those searching for Bree. The search effort swelled, encompassing nearly 100 square miles. Volunteers, driven by empathy and a shared sense of urgency, joined forces. Among them was Nevada's First Lady, Dawn Gibbons, lending her voice and influence to the cause. Bree's mother, Bridget, clung to the hope that her daughter might yet be found alive, inspired by the survival of the other victims. Investigators scrutinized lists of known offenders, their eyes peeled for any hint of a link to Bree's disappearance, but the answer remained elusive, hiding in the shadows as the days turned into weeks. Then, on February 15th, a month after Bree's disappearance, the veil began to lift. Albert Jimenez, an employee at E-Technologies, was returning from a lunch break when he noticed something peculiar by the side of the road. What at first appeared to be a discarded doll, clad in a bright orange sock, revealed itself to be something far more sinister. As Albert approached, the truth became undeniable. It was the lifeless body of a woman. Panic surged through him as he sprinted back to the safety of his workplace, his mind reeling from the horror of his discovery. A call to the police set the wheels of justice in motion once more. In the end, the quest for Bree was not just a search for a missing person, but a journey through the darkest reaches of the human soul. It was a reminder of the fragility of life and the resilience of those who seek to protect it. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that while evil may lurk in the shadows, the light of truth and justice will always strive to pierce through, guided by the unwavering determination of those who refuse to give up hope. In the serene town of Reno, Nevada, an ominous shadow was cast over the community when the remains of 19-year-old Brianna Denison were discovered. The young woman's disappearance had gripped the town, and the confirmation of her untimely death shattered the hearts of her family and friends, plunging them into a grief-stricken reality they had feared yet hoped to avoid. The aftermath of this tragic discovery unfolded with chilling revelations. An autopsy painted a haunting picture of Bree's final moments, revealing severe injuries that suggested her life had BD ones. But amid their sorrow, her friend Katie noticed a perplexing anomaly. Among the personal effects found near Bree's body was a pair of underwear that belonged to Katie herself. This unsettling detail led to a horrifying realization. Despite the mounting fear and the desperate yearning for justice, the investigation seemed to stall, leaving the community in a state of anxious uncertainty. For 10 agonizing months, the case remained unsolved until a crucial piece of information emerged from an unexpected source, altering the course of the investigation. On the 1st of November, 2008, a woman returning to Reno from Washington State, where her husband had recently relocated for work, confided in a trusted friend. She had discovered an unsettling collection of women's underwear hidden in her husband's truck. Recognizing the potential connection to recent violent crimes, the friend courageously reported the finding to authorities through the secret witness program. The man implicated was 27-year-old James Michael Bellabella, a former resident of Sparks, Nevada. His background was as varied as it was troubling, having worked in various trades, including repair work and pipe fitting, and briefly serving in the military before his discharge due to drug use. James was also known for his martial arts training and his notoriously volatile temper. Yet, he was a husband and father, living a seemingly ordinary life. His arrest, ironically, occurred as he was dropping off his son at a local children's center, a stark juxtaposition to the heinous crimes he was accused of committing. Faced with charges of murder and first-degree kidnapping, James maintained his innocence, refusing to cooperate with investigators by denying a DNA sample. The authorities, undeterred by his resistance, turned to his family for assistance. In a strategic move, they enlisted James's wife to provide a DNA sample from their son. The results were conclusive and damning. The DNA evidence linked James to the crime scene and to Bree's tragic fate. Furthermore, it connected him to two other victims, weaving a narrative of violence that had eluded justice for far too long. This breakthrough in the investigation not only identified Bree's killer, but also unearthed the hidden fears that lurk in the shadows of seemingly peaceful communities. The case of Brianna Denison serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of safety and the relentless pursuit of truth and justice. In the silent echoes of her story, the community finds a renewed vigilance and a somber reflection on the unseen battles between innocence and malevolence. With irrefutable evidence in hand, the law enforcement authorities were poised to apprehend James. The issuance of both an arrest warrant and a DNA warrant marked a pivotal moment in the investigation, sealing his fate. The trap was meticulously orchestrated, and James, oblivious to the web of justice closing in around him, unwittingly walked into it. His own wife, once a silent observer, became an unexpected ally to the investigators, her cooperation a key to his downfall. Even his son, in ways perhaps not immediately apparent, contributed to the unraveling of his father's sinister facade. Delving into James's past uncovered a history tainted by violence and intimidation. In the year 2001, he had been apprehended for menacing his lover's neighbor with a knife, a harbinger of the darkness that would later consume his life. Investigators traced the trail of his blue pickup truck, a vehicle that ominously matched the description provided by one of the victims. Though the truck had long since changed hands, the relentless pursuit of justice led to its recovery, and therein lay another damning piece of evidence. Fibers from Bree's clothing, worn on the night of her abduction, were discovered within the depths of James's truck, weaving him inextricably into the tapestry of the crime. Defiantly, James entered a plea of not guilty, setting the stage for a legal battle that would determine his future. A trial was set, and the stakes could not have been higher. If found guilty, James faced the harrowing prospect of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, or perhaps even the ultimate penalty, death. The courtroom drama commenced on May 12, 2010, and for 15 days, the world watched as the evidence against him mounted with relentless precision. Witnesses from all walks of James's life took the stand. Co-workers, past victims, and his own wife painted a portrait of a man driven by dark compulsions. The prosecution laid bare a chilling narrative. On January 20th, James prowled McKay Court, his predatory instincts seeking a target. Through the living room window of Katie's apartment, he spied Bree slumbering peacefully, unaware of the malevolence lurking outside. The unlocked door was an open invitation, and James, with calculated malice, seized the opportunity. He violated her sanctuary, abducting her and driving her to a secluded location where he committed unspeakable acts. In the courtroom, the air was heavy with the weight of Bree's ordeal. Imagining the terror that gripped her in those final moments is an exercise in horror. James's employer also testified, recounting how his demeanor shifted dramatically after Bree's body was discovered. The chilling nonchalance with which James remarked that Bree had it coming sent shivers through those present. Yet the stark reality was that she had done nothing but sleep in her own home. The defense, in a bid to salvage what remained of James's humanity, painted him as a man scarred by a history of abuse. They implored the jury for clemency, citing his supposed transformation into a model inmate. However, the juxtaposition of the words model and inmate seemed incongruous, a hollow attempt to cloak the gravity of his actions. Ultimately, the jury rendered its verdict on May 27, 2010. James was convicted on all charges, the evidence against him unassailable. The culmination of this legal odyssey came on July 30, 2010, when the gavel fell with finality, sentencing him to death. In addition to this ultimate judgment, he received 4 life sentences for the heinous kidnappings and assaults of 2 other victims. The story of James is a somber reflection on the duality of human nature, a reminder of the capacity for both darkness and redemption. It challenges us to ponder the complexities of justice and the depths of human depravity, leaving us to question the fragile boundaries between good and evil. In the courtroom, the echoes of testimony filled the air, each word a step toward justice for Bree. The surviving victims of a predator stood bravely before the judge, recounting their harrowing experiences with unwavering resolve. Among them, a woman, whose courage was palpable, demanded that James, the accused, meet her gaze. Yet, he averted his eyes, unable to confront the strength of her spirit. Her bravery transcended personal healing. It was a tribute to Bree, a testament to resilience in the face of unspeakable wrongs. This was not merely an act of closure, but a stand against a cycle of violence. Through her and others' testament, coupled with the tireless pursuit of truth by investigators, a grim chapter closed as James was rendered incapable of further harm. Bree's murder on a cold February day in 2008 left a community in mourning. At her memorial, the color blue, her favorite, washed over attendees, a sea of flowers, notes, photographs, and ribbons, bearing witness to the vibrant life of a 19-year-old with dreams unfulfilled. In the wake of tragedy, Nevada responded with Brianna's Law, mandating DNA collection from all convicted felons. This legal instrument, had it existed earlier, could have expedited justice, potentially sparing the Denison family prolonged agony. For them, the pain is a relentless companion. Bridget and Brighton, already acquainted with loss, having bid farewell to a husband and father, now grapple with the void left by Bri. Their journey through grief is a testament to human endurance, a narrative of survival against the odds. The ripple effects of Bree's case were profound, instilling a pervasive sense of vulnerability within the community, particularly around the University of Nevada. The urgency for self-defense surged as residents armed themselves with guns, pepper spray, and other protective measures. The specter of an unchecked aggressor escalating to murder shattered the illusion of safety, even within the sanctity of one's home. The locked doors that once symbolized security now stood as fragile barriers against a world capable of unimaginable cruelty. Years have since passed, yet the memory of Bree lingers, a poignant reminder of innocence lost. Her brother, Brighton, has forged forward, building a new life and welcoming the joy of fatherhood. For her mother, Bridget, the path remains more obscured, yet hope endures that she has found strength to navigate through the shadows of her grief. The weight of losing a husband and daughter in quick succession is a burden no one should bear, a testament to the profound resilience of the human spirit. Through their story, we are reminded of the delicate balance between vulnerability and strength, and the enduring quest for peace amidst chaos.